This is the Tombigbee Tales, and I'm your host, Shannon Evans. I write about a small town in northeast Mississippi called Columbus. Sometimes I write about the rest of the state. This is another uh, episode in the Sin City South series about the Dixie Mafia and criminal activities in Columbus, Mississippi during the early 1950s, 60s, into the 70s and 80s. Tonight's is titled The Complicated Life of Buddy Adair. Welcome to the Tombigbee Tales, where we dive deep into the fascinating narratives that shape our regional history. Today, I'm exploring the life of William J. Buddy Adair Jr., a man whose story reads like a complex tapestry of crime, family, and regional intrigue. He loosely associated with a local group of entrepreneurial bootleggers and gambling den owners that some call the Dixie Mafia. Mafia kingpin Al Capone from Chicago once considered expanding his reach into the South, and he often came to the Lowndes County area to hunt. And he thought about partnering with the Dixie Mafia, but he was warned not to join ranks with them as they were too ruthless and had no loyalties even within their own loosely linked circles. It was in this circle that Adair moved. Born in 1936 in Lowndes County, Mississippi, Buddy Adair was more than just a local figure. He was a character who walked the fine line between entrepreneurship and criminal activity, leaving behind a legacy that's both controversial and compelling. Buddy came from a local Mississippi family. His parents, Eloise Eves and William Jackson Adair Sr., raised him in a community where connections and hustle were often more important than strict adherence to the law. His father was a heavy equipment operator for the local Phillips Construction Company. Buddy was a graduate of Lee County High School, and he was known in local circles for his involvement in multiple businesses. He would marry to his wife Frances, and together they ran the Silver Spur, a popular local establishment that was frequented by anyone and everyone looking for a good time in Columbus. It was the place to go to dance, to see and be seen, and to hear great bands. Later, he owned the Executive Lounge near the Holiday Inn, an establishment that was more than just business and was frequented by all the judges and lawyers just up the hill coming out of the courthouse to have some social time. Adair's life was marked by a series of legal challenges. In 1973, he was convicted of grand larceny for stealing a blue Ford tractor valued at $3,150 from James H. Black in Alabama. The case was notable not just for the theft, but for a controversial moment during the trial when the prosecutor commented on Adair's decision not to testify. This was a potential constitutional violation. But the tractor, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Adair was known in local circles as someone who would steal anything not nailed down. He had multiple arrests for stealing things, including air conditioning units, but also for stealing herbicides like paraquat, and was thrice arrested with Sam Langford, a known killer, on the U.S. Marshal's most wanted list. What makes Adair's story truly fascinating was his involvement in more sophisticated criminal operations. Sources suggest he was part of an intricate horse trading network that used American quarter horses as a method for drug transportation. Local anesthesiologist Dr. Jimmy Sams and the Adair family got into business together. Brother Larry Adair had a nice ranch in Texas. The brothers were well known in the quarter horse community. Jimmy Sams had a horse barn and a gambling problem. Sams and Buddy Adair and Kenneth Adair moved horses in and out of the Sams's barn between Lowndes County and Larry Adair's ranch in Texas. Why? Because drugs were being brought with the horses in each delivery. The drugs were brought over to Larry's and then on the ranch in Texas, and then They were placed in the belly of the horses, hidden by their haunches subcutaneously. The American quarter horse is a stocky, muscular horse with a short head, a broad chest, and powerful hindquarters. This made hiding the drugs subcutaneously easy. The drugs would be inserted under the skin in Texas, and then they would be shipped to Mississippi, where Dr. Sams, at his own private barn, would cut the horses open, extract the potent parcels, and then sew the horses back up. When the next load of horses would arrive, the healed previous shipment would go back to Texas. Despite his criminal activities, Adair was also a family man. He was a member of Antioch Baptist Church and involved in the American Quarter Horse Association, and had connections across Mississippi and Texas through his siblings and the American Quarter Horse Association. His personal life was not without drama. Reportedly, his first wife, Frances, shot him after discovering his infidelities. He later married a woman named Benita and continued to be a complex figure in local social circles that he frequented. Buddy Adair's life reminds us that human stories are rarely simple. He was an entrepreneur, a criminal, a family man, a business owner. He was someone who lived in the gray areas of legality and morality. His story is a testament to the complex social dynamics of East Mississippi in the mid-20th century, where business, crime, and community were often intertwined in the most unexpected ways. Thank you for coming to this episode of the Tombigbee Tales. Until next time.